James Smith in the Sit Up and Beg Allard. It goes very well, does this car. Looks like a trials car essentially. Up into Tories, brakes on, turn it in. Round through a Tories. Quite a good line, turning quite nicely there. Up into Pardon. Touch of a lock up on the brakes going into Pardon. Good passage through Pardon and away up towards the S's.
Now this is Will Goff Jr. Don't let me down, I've got you as driver of the day. This is how to do the S's, I hope. Yes. Brilliant.
Number 11 now, Richard Snow in this gorgeous sounding Porsche Cayman GT4, four-wheel drive car. Lovely, superb hill climb car. Brakes on into Tories, turn it in, yeah, that's tight, that's lovely the way that four-wheel drive kicks in. Up into Pardon, automatic change down, and the blip on the revs, down on the power and away. Lovely car.
And this is Anne in her Mini. Very late turn in there, Anne, which pushes you into the second apex. If you'd turned in a little bit earlier and tried to make the S's straighter, that would have been a lot better.
Mel Herman in the other Allard, this time it's a J1, an Allard shape that we're a bit more familiar with a flathead V8 engine. On the power, up into Tories, over to the left-hand side, Mel. Okay, big car to throw through here with no power steering. Middle of the road, oh yeah, a little bit of a tail wag. And up into Pardon, grabs the steering wheel, loads of of lock on that steering. Up into the S's and away.
Alex Depper in his Jaguar, slightly late turn in. Do you see how it pushes you on into the second apex? You're supposed to try and make the S's as straight a line as possible.
Car number 19 now, Lee Carter in the Fiat 600, 595 as it's known. Okay, on the power all the way through Orchard Corner, up into a Tories, down a gear, turn it in, keep on that power. Yeah, that's a good exit from a Tories, up a gear. On the brakes and into Pardon, turn it in now, early on the power and away.
David Mould in his Porsche. Slightly shallow entry there to the S's. If you turned in a little bit sharper, it would have been better, but using all the track on the exit, which is good, and entering the semicircle on the right line.
Car number 20, the first of the two Webers, this one in a Westfield SE. Yeah, steady exit from Orchard, keep it over to the left-hand side there, Matthew. Yeah, turning in too early into a Tories, and you're going to wash out. Yeah, a little bit of a washout and a back end let go a little bit. Up into Pardon, on the brakes, turn it in, on the power early now and away. Yeah.
Will Goff in his Cosworth. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen, this is how to do it. Although he's got stiff competition from his son today.
Okay, car number 10 now, Robin Guttridge in the Mazda MX-5. Good regular competitor here at Prescott. That's a pretty wide exit from Orchard, up into a Tories. Brakes on, turn it in, yeah, he's got that okay. That's exit from a Tories, not bad. On the power now, down into Pardon. Brakes on, turn it in. Yep, pretty good passage through Pardon.
Richard Snow in the Porsche. Slightly late turn in there, and you see how the back end comes round if you don't straight line through the S's.
This is Will Goff Jr. Who's running the business today, Will? Okay, good exit from Orchard. Keep it over to the left-hand side, Will. Middle of the road going into Tories. See if he can hold on to that line. Yeah, pretty good exit and on the power early. Very raughty little car, this Honda. Yeah, on the power early again and away up towards the S's. Well done, Will.
Matthew Webber in the Westfield. Now that's a rather shallow entry to the beginning of the S's. Not bad on the exit using all... Oh, now that's middle of the road as we approach the semicircle. You should be further over to the left.
Nigel Perrin's in the Renault Clio. Okay, steady exit from Orchard, keep it over to the left, Nigel. Yep, good entry into Attores. Yeah, and a good exit too. Yeah, that's nice, well done, Nigel. Good lines all the way through there. Now keep it on into Pardon, keep up the good work. Yeah, lift an inside rear wheel through Pardon, as all these front wheel drive cars should do, and he's away.
Mel Herman in the Allard. Now that's getting better, Mel. You need to just turn in a little bit earlier, but that's a vast improvement on the previous run.
Car number 12 now, Robin Depper in the Jaguar XKR, brother of David Depper, well-known Mini exponent from back in the 70s and 80s, up into Attores. Yeah, not a bad turn in and a good exit there, Robin. On the power, plenty of it. Up into Pardon. Very tight line round Pardon, and had a job getting on the power, getting away from Pardon, but he's on it now.
Andrew Willerton in his Porsche. Now, you could have been a bit closer to that first apex, Andrew. Nice in the second one. Using all the track on the exit, lovely. And approaching on the left-hand side to the semicircle, good.
That's Ian Hardy in the Skoda Octavia estate. Gentleman's carriage. Up into Attores, right over to the left-hand side, almost putting a wheel on the kitty litter, but just alongside it. A fairly wide exit from Attores, middle of the road down the hill, off the power now and up into Pardon, brakes on and turning in. Yeah, not a bad turning into Pardon, on the power and away under the trees.
Perrins in his Clio. Nearly got that first apex, not so bad with the second. And you could have used a bit more of the track on the exit of the S's there, Nigel.
And here's the other member of the Depper family. This is Alex in the Jaguar XF. Lovely and quiet. On the power now, over to the left-hand side. Good line, don't turn in too early. Oh, that's good, keep it out, keep it out. Now work hard on that steering to get it over. You missed the apex on the exit. It's pretty difficult getting that apex right. Up into Pardon. Middle of the road, late on the power and away.
Robin Guttridge in his Mazda. Slightly late turn in there, Robin. Fine in the middle. Use all the track on the exit. There's about another foot you could have used. And you could move a little bit further over to the left.
And car 21, the other part of the Weber family in the Westfield, this one with a bike engine. Revving its nuts off and up into Attores. Yeah, middle of the road, turning in a little bit too early into Attores. Are you going to wash out? Yes, you washed out because you turned in too early. Up into Pardon on the brakes and turn it in now. Loads of power and on the power, nice and early and away. Up in towards the S's.
Lee Carter in the Fiat. Now that's better this time, Lee. You picked up the first apex, got the second one. Yes, a vast improvement. And on the right line into the semicircle.
Round Orchard and up towards Attores. Trailing throttle, keep it over to the left, Paul. Okay, good positioning up into Attores. Be patient round Attores, it's a very slow corner. And come out roughly where that position was not bad there. And just clip the sleeping policeman on the left-hand side on the route between the two corners, up into Pardon. Yeah, fairly slow passage around Pardon, but that's the way that corner is, and on the power and away.
James Smith with the Allard. Slightly late turn in there, James, which pushes you up the Dragon's Teeth. Good exit. And approaching on the left into the semicircle.
Will Goff in the old faithful Sierra Cosworth. He's also got an Alpha 4C, which is a gorgeous bit of kit, but out in the Sierra Cosworth today. He knows his way around this track. He should turn it in quite nicely. There you are, hugs the curb on the inside of Attores. Perfect line out. and up into Pardon, down a gear and in first gear and away.
And this is Paul Mould in his Audi. That's a nice entry into the S's, Paul. Nice in the middle and lovely exit. And your approach into the semicircle is on the correct side.
Car number 17, another Porsche, this time a 997 Turbo in the hands of Andrew Willerton. Yes, oh, that's pretty wide exit from Orchard. Now the cones have come away, you've missed that cone there. Yeah, pretty middle of the road exit from Torres. On the power now up into Pardon. Heavily on the brakes, on the power early. And away up towards the S's.
Ian Hardy in his Skoda. Now that's a rather late turn in to the beginning of the S's, Ian. Not so bad in the middle, letting the car drift out. There's a little bit more of the track on the right hand side there where you leave the S's, but that's a nice entry into the semicircle.
David Mould in the Porsche 911. A little bit of sweeping required by the marshal on the Tories after the Allard put a couple of wheels on the kitty litter. And here comes David now. Over to the left hand side, yes, good approach into a Tories, brakes on, turn it in, be patient on the power when you come out. Yeah, a little bit wide on the exit of a Tories. And middle of the road all the way up into Pardon. Late braking into Pardon and a little bit of a wide entrance into the corner, but on the power and away.
Robert Webber in his Westfield. Shallow entry into the S's there, Robert. Using all the track on the exit, which is good, and the right line into the semicircle.
It's Annie Firth Bernard in the Mini. Come on Annie, you can do it. Keep it over to the left hand side now. That's good, that's very close to the left hand side. Now don't turn it in too early. Good run so far. Now you let it run a little bit wide out of Vittori's and you'll have to come off the power. Okay, up into Pardon. That's a good approach into Pardon. Yeah, tight line but off the power and you came off the cam there. And away up into the S's.
This is Robin Depper in his Jaguar. He seems to have had a problem earlier on in the hill, so he's taking things steadily. I'm not sure what was wrong with the car, but his lines previously have been very good.